The sun's shining, birds are singing, and all feels right in the world.
Until the season changes and suddenly you lose your motivation to get out of bed. In fact, 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, no matter the season or time of year.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all, because we want you to live your best life and be your best you all year round.
Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Here are a handful of stories that we're following today, and we hope you find some of this interesting. I surely do. First, Bitcoin opened today about $92,000. That's literally remarkable. I can't even believe what price I sold out of it, but it was a long time ago and a lot lower than that. But Bitcoin knocking it out of the park with hopes on lots of crypto trade stuff going on, and the new President Trump and Elon Musk being fairly aligned around Bitcoin and so forth. We'll see how that lasts and how it goes. Second, cannabis stocks remain struggling, and based on a couple key cannabis ETFs, they're down about 20% year to date. Now I sold out of my positions in Bitcoin and cannabis at the same time with losses that were worth almost a couple years college education. The cannabis one, I guess, in hindsight, glad I sold out of. The Bitcoin one not being a disaster. The real lesson here is don't invest in anything without true conviction around it. I had no real conviction about either of these. It was more of a whim, and ultimately ended up acting that way. Third, and this is fascinating, a substantial part of the Affordable Care Act will go away. Subsidies for it will go away at the end of 2025. Those are subsidies that were added to the ARP America Rescue Plan by Joe Biden in 2021. That will set up a fascinating situation for President Trump, where he's able to allow some of this to move away without renewal and cut some of the cost of the ACA. The ACA is complicated because it's turned out we've cut down the uninsured in our country to about 10% from 20%. It's costing the country a lot of money. So this might help on the deficit side, but send us back on the coverage side. And of course, as people evolve more and more, they probably understand coverage is very different than access. If we don't fix the supply and demand in healthcare, we're going to have horrible access problems for a very long time to come. But this setting up the just expiration of these subsidies likely to happen and absolutely fascinating. Fourth, the 6 largest U.S. companies by revenues, Walmart is $648 billion a year. Amazon at $574 billion. Amazon's closing that gap, but it hasn't closed it yet. I mean, Walmart used to be $100 billion above Amazon. Now it's $75 billion above Amazon. So they're closing that. We'll see when it does actually close. Apple's at $338 billion a year. It's the third in revenues, second in market cap. The next few are things I find really interesting. Fourth is United Health Group at $370 billion. And sixth is CVS Health at $357 billion. Those are just mega companies having challenging years this year. But do remember, 4 of the largest payers, United, CVS, Cigna, and Elevance Health, are the top 20 largest revenue companies in America by revenues. Berkshire Hathaway rounds it out as number 5. They're at $364 billion a year. Amazon's gaining on Walmart, but Walmart has a serious lead. United and CVS are 2 of the payers in the very top 20 of all revenues of all companies. Fifth, you ever have suggestions for us? Text or message me at LinkedIn or at Scott Becker, 773-766-5322. Love to hear your thoughts and ideas and subjects. If it's a business that you want to promote, those are sponsored. But anything else, topics, ideas, I'd love to cover. Finally, I'll note, the Chicago Bears looked better this week, but they may be cursed. They might need the KKR, Bain, Apollo, Blackstone change in management. The play calling this week was much better, but they still managed to lose on a last-second field goal that they missed. I literally hate the Packers. I don't hate the Packers as much as I hate the Michigan Wolverines, but I do wish we hired Jim Harbaugh. I know I'm on a rant now. Green Bay is hardly even a bay. People call it Green Bay. I don't even know what that means. They call Illinois people FIBs. If anyone wants to text me, I'll tell you what that means. But I'm going to start calling them FWBs. The Bears have now lost 11 times in a row to the Green Bay Packers. It's really unthinkable that one team could have another team's number that bad. Aaron Rodgers, when he was the quarterback of the Packers, said, "We own the Bears," and it seems like they haven't given up ownership yet, or they forgot about the Halas-Mizgaski family, as many of us would like to do. George Halas was an American hero. The McCaskies have not done a great job since then in managing this team. In any event, there's always hope. The offense looked a little bit better. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Thank you very, very much.
Life is full of adventures.
Do you take this man to be your husband?
I do. Welcome home.
We did it. He has your eyes.
He's perfect.
Make the most of them all with PenFed checking and savings accounts. Learn more at PenFed.org. Federally insured by NCUA. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed Credit Union.